Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name's Carmen. Today we're going to do the yearly predictions for Virgo for 2023, the year ahead. And for our pre-shuffle, we've got single and children in the reverse. So what I see with this is I don't think you're playing around anymore. So I think there's been something in 2022 that is kind of made you realize that you want to be a little bit more selective, maybe a little bit more serious where it concerns matters of the heart. You don't want to give time or energy to somebody that is just kind of, you know, surface level, right? You want a meaningful connection. So if you are already single, you may be finding temptation to be with somebody who's actually more your pace in 2023. Otherwise, you may find yourself ending a relationship that is not quite hitting the mark for you right now. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far and that you have fun plans for the new year if you are watching this day, the day that I posted. What we're going to do is get a little bit of underlying, like current energy vibes, and then we'll dive into a more complete view of what happens in your love life in 2023 before we move on to your money and your career. All right, I'm being drawn to the Dark Goddess Oracle, so let's draw something from here. Can't remember if I said it. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far, Virgo. Hello there, King Pirate. How's it going? I just went to the grocery store and holy crap, I forgot just how busy it gets right before everyone wants to celebrate the new year, but I was able to get what I need. Run right back out. Okay, so we've got Aradia. Aradia? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but we've got the word defense here. So let me actually just read what we have for this particular one for you. So she is the archetypal defender of Roman origin. She was the daughter of Diana and Apollo, and she was known as the goddess of witches. She was sent to teach people, especially the poor and oppressed, how to perform witchcraft and magic and to defend themselves against oppression, exploitation, and ridicule. So I feel like there's something here that you're getting a bit defensive of in 2023, and I don't think it's a bad kind of defensive. I think you are sharpening your skills in terms of intuition or discernment and reevaluating the boundaries that you have set and trying to determine if there are any changes you need to make in terms of, protecting yourself and your loved ones. We're going to pull one from the Energy Oracle as well. And then we'll move to, I don't know, what do you say, Pirate? Is it too early for the Kipper, Skipper, Flipper? We have anxiety and door to personal healing and happiness. So Virgo, it looks like there's a little bit of concern here because there may be a bit of a significant jump or a big move that you're planning, and it may require a lot of consideration. It feels to me like you really have to get this right, or that there's a little bit of pressure on you, but keep the faith. You do have some protection here, and it looks like you are approaching this in the right way. We have door to personal healing and happiness, which means you are clearing out some of those obstacles or individuals that have been getting in your way. All right, it's Kipper time. Let's see what else we have. What else do we have for Virgo, please? You have an easier path coming your way here in 2023. Virgo, there's something here about you having put in the time, put in like, I don't know, I'm almost seeing it like a residency or somebody who's been an apprentice getting promoted to like the big deal, the real deal. Because we've got toil and labor in the reverse and pathway. You have found where you're supposed to be, or you know in 2023 where you're supposed to go. And it helps you lessen the amount of time you have to spend working, or it helps you find a way to not feel like everything is such a labor or laborious effort. So it may be, work smarter, not harder, but it could also be that you find like your dream job. You may be moving. We've got distant horizons here. This could also be that you've got some trip or tour or exciting plans for, exploring new lands. And it is pertaining to your work. So you may be asked to travel for your job, or like I mentioned already, you may be going, like on a tour because you're an author or a musician, something like that. Virgo, what are you going to be making all this money doing? Some of you may have a settlement, you may have an inheritance, or just, a really good day at the casino. But it looks like you're going to be in a much more comfortable position in 2023 where it pertains or where it concerns your money. There could be some sort of settlement here. Maybe there was somebody who was doing something illegal. Maybe you have a dissolution of a marriage, but there is something to do with the legal side of things and how it impacts your money. I do feel compelled to tell you, for some of you, there is some requirement here for you to copyright or trademark something. So if you've already been thinking you need to do that, I would do that as soon as possible because I do think it would pay out for you. So we've got thoughts underneath distant horizons. I think there's somebody in particular that is making you want to move. Now that could be somebody that you want to be distant from, or that could be somebody that you want to be closer to. But there's good news coming in or some kind of communication that inspires you to move forward with your plans. All right, we're going to get a few from the Tattoo Tarot. Still doing a little bit of like a energy, like current energy readout for you. And then we'll dive into the matters of the heart. What else do we have for Virgo, please? Virgo, I feel like you've gone through a pretty difficult year here, and it's coming across to me as if the difficulties have been interpersonal. So dealing with family, dealing with friends, dealing with a significant other, maybe children, and it's put you in a little bit of a funk. But with the Sun in the reverse coming out alongside the Queen of Pentacles, I do feel like the bright spot for you here is that you've been able to build a really strong foundation in your career or your finances. So for some of you, that may look like finally being able to set aside a nice savings account or some sort of, stock market purchase. Maybe you got into Bitcoin. For most of you, though, I feel like this is career related, like finding a job that really feels stable or is rewarding for you. And this, I think, is going to spill over into 2023 and help you to feel even more stable than you do currently. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse and the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. I do feel like for some of you, there is an individual that's been a little bit taxing on your time, or maybe even a little bit draining on your finances. But the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like there's a rejection or kind of a time of separation on the horizon here, or something that you're currently going through. Maybe you needed a little bit of a breather from somebody. I feel like you might be kind of signing up for a little bit of time by yourself after a difficult situation with somebody that you're close to. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse and the Page of Swords. There's some piece of information here that seems to be kind of bothering you in the back of your mind. You, I think, have a decision that you've made, but I don't know if you've totally communicated what that decision means for other people or, communicated that decision in general. For some of you, this is like a breakup or telling people that you are planning to move away. So I think there's a little bit of a risk here in terms of if it is an announcement or like a big change in your life, You might be a little bit cautious with regards to social media because I do think that there might be a little bit of drama that comes your way if this conversation isn't handled, um, respectfully, I guess is how I'd put that. All right, let's dive into love for you. Virgo, we're going to start with the Morgan Greer. We have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse and the Queen of Cups in the reverse with Death. There's somebody here that you would like to no longer collaborate with. This could be somebody that is non-romantic, that is making your romantic life difficult. So in other words, if you've got like kind of like a helicopter parent that really wants to like monitor what you're doing in terms of your love life, you may have to reestablish some boundaries here or communicate that you don't really care for this kind of monitoring or hovering. This Queen of Cups in the reverse suggests that you feel like this love language or the way this person is demonstrating that they care for you is something that really needs to change. It's grating on you in some way. Now, this could be an unhealthy, like a toxic relationship where somebody's trying to be a little bit controlling or maybe even make you feel less than. But I do know that whatever it is, you know this isn't good for you and that you deserve better. And if it doesn't change, you're out. Page of Swords, again, you may be dealing with an air sign. That would be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Or what I'm getting here is I think there's a balancing of the scales coming your way, Virgo. It feels to me like somebody has been trying to take advantage of you or keep you kind of blinded to their true intentions, but you have been able to see through whatever delusion or illusion they've created here. And as a result, I feel like you're changing your mind about somebody in your sphere. We've got, I think, somebody that you want to kind of excommunicate from your life and somebody that you want to bring back in, maybe an old friend, somebody that you haven't talked to in a while. There may have been an issue between the three of you, or there may have been some sort of gossip scandal that was exaggerated or an outright lie that you now see the truth behind. This person who is causing issues in your life is, I think, aware of the fact that you're now feeling more empowered to offload this burden. And when you do, with the Seven of Wands here, you are able to more effectively defend what you've worked really hard to build for yourself this year. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get some more on love with the Rider-Waite. What's I have for Virgo? I think you're dealing with somebody who's a little bit greedy. With the Nine of Cups here, I think this is somebody that at one time you really thought was like the bee's knees or a perfect match for you. But you're realizing now that this person creates a lot of instability in your life and makes it difficult for you to move forward the way that you picture being able to do so. I feel like for some of you, there also may be something here about somebody setting a bad example for people in your family or for children that you have. We have the Page of Wands, Ace of Cups in the reverse again. I think there's something about social media conveying to you somebody's true feelings or intent. You may be a little bit shocked to hear how somebody describes an event that concerns you or how somebody describes like a breakup. There's something here about someone trying to make you look bad because of a breakup or a difficult love situation. And I don't think they're going to be very successful at it. This feels like a campaign trying to make you out to be the bad guy. when others are, I think, quite aware of the fact that it's not you. We have the King of Pentacles, that's you, Virgo. You're stepping into a really important time in your life where stability is not just something that you want to work hard to achieve. You want it to be something that is like a team player situation. Like whoever you're dating, you want them to be able to contribute just like you do. You don't want an unequal or unfair relationship dynamic, right? We have the Six of Wands coming out sideways. I feel like there are people that are underestimating your ability, specifically whoever is this like kind of overwhelming toxic energy. I think they're assuming that you would be unable to achieve something that you're actually quite capable of achieving. And as a result, I think they'll be a little bit surprised here when you make a move that is a really bold and smart move for you that gets you in position for a new beginning. Maybe you're moving to a different state, different city. Maybe you're just moving out from a shared living space with somebody you've been dating. But with the Knight of Cups here, I feel like there's a sense that somebody is upset that you're being seen as a bit of a heartthrob or a desirable, like a hot commodity. So I think somebody's going to be kind of bad mouthing you a little bit here after possibly a breakup in 2023. But they're going to end up coming out as this wounded warrior. People are going to see that they're just a little bit butthurt about you rejecting them. And I think they'll see the truth, even if it doesn't come out in like, early days, even if it takes several weeks or even a couple of months, they're eventually going to see you were in the right. You did what you needed to do to protect you. We have the Seven of Pentacles clarifying the Ace of Cups. Yeah, I really do feel like 2023, you're devoted to having the time that you need to be able to heal. You may be seeking out a little bit of that hermit time, which is very Virgo energy, right? You're being more selective with the love that you give out. If it's not somebody that warrants it, you're going to keep that love for yourself. But I do think that whoever you are leaving behind or asking for separation from is going to make some sort of comment here that is meant to make you sound like you've lost your mind. Maybe you're going through depression or you have PTSD. They're going to try to make you seem like you're off your rocker, and people aren't going to buy into it. Maybe initially they do, but they're not going to believe it the way this person is hoping. All right, we're going to use the Egyptian Tarot to get a little bit more detail for your love life in 2023. And then we'll use the Romance Angel Oracle to get a little bit more clarification before we move on to your money and your career. All right, so we've got the Seven of Wands coming out again. We had it over here as well. And Strength. This makes me really happy, Virgo. This makes me feel like even though you've got this giant heart, you really do care for others and you probably put the needs of others before your own. You have learned something valuable here in 2022, or you're about to in early 2023, about what you need to do in terms of protecting your own happiness and your own sanity, not sacrificing that just so that you can be in a relationship. After all, it's much better to be happy and by yourself than unhappy and feeling stuck in a relationship. And I think that's one of the major relationship lessons that you've learned in 2022 or will learn in 2023. So we've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse and the Knight of Pentacles coming out together, which is telling me that there's somebody here that's going to try to make an offer to you to deter you from taking a different opportunity, one that I think is superior. So you may find, for example, that, so I have to make sure this is love related, not work, because we're not at work and money yet, but it's like somebody knows that there's another person interested in you, or somebody knows that you have changed your boundaries, updated your deal breakers, And so they feel like if they offer you something that you had been asking them to offer for a long time, you'll reconsider and let them stay in your life. This looks to me like somebody proposing marriage after years of avoiding it or several months of avoiding it, but it's really just to get you to stay instead of making them change. So use your discernment. You don't want to get stuck in this same situation just because somebody promises you the moon. If somebody offers to do something for you, maybe it is an engagement, something along those lines, ask a follow-up question before you give an answer. If somebody were to propose to me, for example, and I didn't think that they were actually going to change, I would make it a point to say something like, okay, tell me how that's going to go. What plans have you already made? Have you already talked to somebody about where this is going to happen, when this is going to happen, anything like that? No? Sounds like a figment of my imagination then, doesn't it? Because I think this is reckless behavior. This is somebody acting in desperation, hoping that they don't lose you because they realize that you are actually quite capable of giving up on this relationship with the Nine of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're sick of fighting for something that somebody else is not willing to fight for. So in 2023, there is some major change on the horizon for your love and your relationships. And I think it's all stemming from the fact that you have an improved vision of yourself, higher confidence, more courage, and a better understanding of your self-worth. So I really like that for you, Virgo. Sending you a big hug. All right, let's do the Romance Angel Oracle for you, and then we'll switch over to your money and your career. So there's somebody new here that has been admiring you that would like to get to know you a little bit better. This feels like somebody who has a crush but might be a little bit intimidated by you. Release your ex. If somebody doesn't want to agree with you on the self-worth you know you hold, then they are not good enough for you. You deserve better. And there may be somebody else that makes an offer in love that you initially discount, but I feel like this give your relationship a chance is about somebody other than this person that's already been making you a little bit despondent or frustrated. There is some fiery passion here that you'll discover in 2023 with a soulmate, somebody who really makes you feel comfortable and excited at the exact same time, which is a pretty nice duo, don't you think? Lastly, we have heart-to-heart conversations. So be your authentic self, do what you can to, have those boundaries, but also be open to letting somebody in. All right, you guys, we're going to switch over to money and career. I think first we're going to do a round from the Gold Foil Tarot. So we have the King of Swords in the reverse. For many of you, you may be dealing with somebody in the work environment that is not very reliable in terms of what they offer or what they say they're going to do. They don't actually do it. So with the King of Swords in the reverse, we have somebody here who's manipulating the situation. And it's, I guess, intent or the goal here is to be unequitable. This feels like somebody not wanting to pay you what you're worth or not willing to hold true to promoting you after they promised they would. There's something here about your current role or, at the very beginning of 2023, being frustrated with people because there's like a deal that just kind of falls through. And we've got Temperance coming out to suggest that you know that there's something better out there for you. And moving towards something different or taking on a new challenge is something that excites you as opposed to making you feel like you would miss your current job. So we have the Page of Wands, the Ten of Wands in the reverse, and the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So you may have two instances of people trying to make you an offer in order to keep you from moving towards a better offer. And when I say two instances, I mean one in love and one in money or your career, because we've got good news coming in, but it looks like the intent here is to try to keep you from getting more established financially. So read the small print, make sure you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. One thing I always encourage people when you're looking to leave one job and go to a different one is try to get everything on email or text, because that's much easier to audit than if it was spoken, right? When I left a job and I knew it was going to be a little contentious, I had my former boss ask me to hop on the phone and have a conversation, and I literally said to him by email, I would prefer all of our conversations be by email, as then we have a documented proof of what was said. Don't be afraid to defend yourself. You know, there are human resources teams out there who are literally designed to protect the company over you. So you may as well be your own advocate. Don't be afraid to Google things about local laws in terms of how you're protected, and know the statutes that protect you from your employer, okay? Saved my ass a few times. All right, we've got the Ten of Swords in the reverse and the High Priestess. So I think you can see your way to a much happier situation for your for your career or money. And even though it may be a little bit awkward initially, I think you have a gut feeling that what you want to do is the right move for you. So make sure, if you're getting, multiple options with the Seven of Cups here, that you are taking a look at who might be trying to kind of schmooze you a little bit. With the Three of Cups in the reverse, I do feel like there's someone here who's going to try to know or try to use the fact that they know you or they have some sort of connection to your family, whatever it is, to kind of blindside you with something that looks better than it actually is. So again, make sure you're protecting yourself and looking at the small print or asking questions to verify your understanding of the benefits, the pay, all of that. We have the Hermit in the reverse and the Nine of Cups. If there is something that seems a little bit too good to be true, trust your gut on that. There's somebody here who's going to try to make an offer and make it sound much better than it actually is. I feel like for many of you, this is a current employer that doesn't want you to leave, so they come back with an offer like, okay, well, what if we pay you more now? I wouldn't necessarily think that's a good idea. You all have to make your own decisions, but make sure you use your discernment, okay? We have the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords. Virgo, there's something here that you're becoming an expert in, or people are seeing you as a worthy guru or advice provider. You have experience here that has accumulated, I think, especially in 2022. And it's enabling you to have a bit of an ascension here in terms of people seeing you as a higher value asset to the team. And if there's somebody you're currently working for that doesn't want to admit that that's the case, that's why they should lose you as a team member. All right, Virgo, we're going to continue with the Everyday Tarot. What's up, Joanna? How are you doing? We have the Six of Swords. Things are going to be easier for you from a career or finance standpoint in 2023. So keep your mindset positive and focus on what you want to see. Write down your goals or what you think should happen for you and talk about them as if they're a guarantee. Focus on putting the negative thoughts or concerns out of your mind, because you do manifest what you think about. We've also got the Eight of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. This is what I'm talking about. There's something here about you honing your craft, really working hard, and being recognized for having some expertise or like high level ability here. So this is like being sought after in your field, right? For some of you, this is starting your own business, this King of Pentacles. We have the Star in the reverse and the Lovers. So be careful in terms of work-life balance. I want to make sure that whatever you're doing in 2023, you know that there is a way to find a work-life balance or something here that helps you protect your mental health or feel, like you're making a difference, but you aren't super tapped or like worn out from this, right? You don't want to be in a situation that makes you feel burnt out. With the Lovers here, I feel like there's something to do with a pretty sizable choice you're going to have with regards to your career. So again, you might have like multiple options, multiple offers. So you're going to want to make sure you pay close attention. One of these offers with the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse is a step backwards. With the sun coming out right after that, I do feel like, Virgo, you're well positioned to be able to identify who is trying to kind of schmooze you a little bit and pull one over on you in terms of the quality of job offer they have. With the Ace of Swords here, do what you can to be very honest when you communicate back with this person. If none of us ever told people why things don't work out, then how can people improve, right? When in the dating world somebody loses my interest, I think it's my responsibility to be as honest as I can in that situation, because then that might help that person be more successful in the next round of dating, right? Same thing here. If somebody's offered you something and it doesn't look like the right fit for you, feel free to just say to them, I got to be honest, I thought I might be, interested in this job, but then I realized that there was some miscommunication here in terms of what benefits were included. And that kind of made me feel a little bit wary in terms of how we would communicate if I did work for you. Something along those lines that is respectful, civil, but also hopefully helpful in terms of them correcting that. It might help you avoid burning a bridge when you reject them. But I do think this Four of Cups in the reverse is to indicate that you are going to choose something that makes you happy. It seems kind of like maybe even a stepping stone to a dream job, or it is your dream job. Something that allows for a little bit more independence. With the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, I feel like currently you're trying to find something that pays well, but also has a better balance or maybe less of an impact on your mental health. With the Seven of Wands, I love this one because she's got that fire at the end of her wand. I feel like there's something here about your words being particularly useful in terms of how you negotiate. So be very particular if you need to in an interview. Just say, could you repeat the question? Or could I just have a moment to think about that before I answer? That comes across as you wanting to be, diligent. You don't want to be too rushed with your words. I think there's also something here about being a little bit guarded in terms of how quickly you share your good news with people. You want to make sure everything is final, official, all of that. And you don't have to blast all of your good news online, because I do feel like with the Temperance coming out in the reverse, there's someone here that may be a little bit jealous of your success, that wants to kind of, rain on your parade. So it may be a good idea to keep some of these happy updates as face-to-face instead of something you blast all over social media. All right, we're going to get some additional clarification from the Miniature Rider-Waite, and then we'll close things out with the Zodiac fortune-telling cards. We have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. I do feel like there's something here about maybe leaving some colleagues that you really enjoy working with, but that can't be the only reason why you stay at a job. I feel like there's something that could potentially keep you in a role that you're not really happy in, and then you miss a really great opportunity. So don't let the small details detract from something that's a great opportunity, okay? We have the Four of Cups and the King of Cups. I think this is suggesting that there's someone here that may be a bit of a stoic negotiator with you regarding your career. And I think this is somebody who is holding back on purpose because they don't want you to actually know what that job would entail or that the company isn't doing so great. With the Hierophant in the reverse, this feels to me like somebody who is not approaching business the right way. What's coming through with this pairing is that the right choice for you in terms of your money or your career is going to feel a little bit crazy. It's going to feel a little bit like reaching for the stars or like you have to fake it till you make it, but that's the right way to go. That's where you make your money in 2023. With the Five of Wands in the reverse, I feel like this opportunity is going to look at you as clearly like the best option for the job. But with the Knight of Wands in the reverse, I am a little bit concerned here in terms of how you communicate whether or not you're interested. You may feel like it's a little bit of a long shot that you get hired for this job, and that could come across to somebody as you not necessarily really wanting this. So be careful how you communicate. I want to make sure that if you come across your dream job, your lack of confidence is addressed immediately so it doesn't get misconstrued as you're not being interested in that opportunity, okay? We do have the Two of Cups in the reverse, suggesting you are going to have a change of um, employership, employment, but you do have everything that you need to find success. You're just going to want to make sure, again, that you're staying fully informed in terms of what options are available to you and what that reality would look like. What would a day in the life of that job look like? Sorry, guys, I just dropped all of them. Okay. So we've got the Moon in the reverse and the Three of Wands. So there is, I think, some sort of travel involved here. And I think it's going to be a little bit surprising when this offer is made to you. Maybe it's like the job you applied for, but they ask you to move to Phoenix or they ask you to move to Chicago, something a little bit unexpected that requires a different address. We have the Queen of Wands in the reverse and the Three of Swords. I do feel like for some of you, there could be somebody here that is really jealous of your progression or your kind of climbing the ranks here. I think you're getting a boost in your reputation and it makes things difficult on a relationship, whether that's a romantic relationship or a working relationship. In other words, you could have somebody that sees you getting promoted into a role that they had hoped they could have. And with Death in the reverse here, I think this is going to kind of put a strain on the relationship because this person isn't doing what they need to do to get into a situation like you are. In other words, you are putting in the work and they are not. All right, Virgo, we're going to grab a couple from the Zodiac fortune telling cards. One of whom you will be suspicious will prove true. So don't be too quick to judge. There is somebody here that is going to end up being much more supportive than you expect. There's also some hasty news coming your way. There could be news of layoffs or some sort of really big change to your job that helps kind of nudge you out the door so that you look for something a little bit more your pace. Cleveland? Oh, King Pirate. Have you been to Cleveland? All right, we've got you will be more successful telling the truth at all times. So that's what I was saying over here, right? If you have to break up with someone, if you have to decline a job offer, do so respectfully, okay? There's no need to make things extra difficult by being kind of twatty. Is that a word? Or is it twatly? Be careful of a blonde, you know. Can't trust those blondes, you guys. And there's somebody here who may want to visit you, especially if you're moving or you go on some sort of trip here that maybe is for your job or you are staying for a long period of time. There's someone here who maybe, I think this is the jealous person, somebody who kind of wants to rain on your parade, and I don't think you should let them. All right, Virgo, I hope you enjoyed the yearly predictions for 2023. I hope you have a wonderful year ahead and that you celebrate New Year's Eve respectfully and responsibly. I will see you on the next reading. Have a lovely rest of 2022 and 2023.